are live, I believe. Welcome, Highfalutin Ski Bum Podcast number 51. It is your friends and hosts, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's going on, man?
What's up, everybody? Having a good time this week.
Yeah, we are doing this on Google Hangouts again. You know, last week we were live in the studio for number 50, and now we're back doing things the new fashion way, doing it online, doing it Google Hangout style, which has been an adventure. Each week it's been an adventure. We've done it this way.
Pushing the envelope. We got to keep doing it.
We're learning new things. We're trying new things. We're trying to keep up with all the cool new toys out there. So, yeah, please check us out. skibumpodcast.com, facebook.com/skibumpodcast, twitter.com/skibumpodcast, and instagram.com/skibumpodcast. Mario, you know what time it is.
Yeah, I know what time it is.
Nice and loud. I like it.
Yeah. It's time for a little weekly flavor.
Yes, it is.
So what do you got today, Brian? What do we got going on?
Well, you know what? I'll let you start because there's a bit of a theme behind what you're drinking.
My little drinky drink is swishing around. I hit a little ice in a nice copper glass. So I'm doing the good old-fashioned Moscow Mule, and this is in part because I think I'm a little beard out, and I love my Moscow Mules. And this time of year, you start drinking something a little bit more refreshing. So with all the events going on this weekend, Moscow Mule is going to hit home pretty good. So we'll talk about it a little bit later in the show, but we got some events going on with our buddies from Goslings.
Ryan Gosling?
Huh?
Ryan Gosling?
So Goslings, and they actually make the ginger beer that's in my Moscow Mule today. So.
Oh, that's very different than Ryan Gosling.
Ha
But just as delicious, though.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's awesome. I love these things, man.
Yeah, they're really good.
The problem is I love them too much.
Yeah, I hear you.
They go down so easy, especially with when I hang out with girls. They're like, "Oh yeah, I have a Moscow Mule. I have another Moscow Mule. I have another." It's like, whoa, you had like 5 of them. They're like, "Oh, you don't feel it." I'm like, "That's okay."
And stand up and floor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's how it usually happens. Yep.
It's so easy drinking.
Yes. So I don't have the proper ingredients for a Moscow Mule, so I did an extremely ghetto version of that. What I did have, because
style.
Well, because the ingredients for a Moscow Mule are what? It's ginger beer, vodka,
a little splash of lime,
and mint, right?
No mint.
No mint?
No, that's it. Just lime.
Oh, all right. Well, so I didn't have any ginger beer, any delicious Goslings. So what I did have was ginger kombucha tea. And I decided to add some vodka to said ginger kombucha tea. So it's some sort of weird Japanese ghetto mule.
Get your probiotics in there, son.
Getting my probiotics on.
Nice.
So, it's not the worst thing I've ever drank. So, there's that.
So there's that. You got that going for you.
So I got that going for me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moscow Mules, I just they've been, ever since that trip to Telluride, they've been like a good standby favorite because I'm like, they're so simple to make and they're so delicious. Yeah,
whenever I think of Moscow Mules now, I think of our Telluride trip because that's when I was first introduced to them. So
yeah,
it's a special place in my heart along with Telluride.
Even last summer, I remember it being really hot out. I was at a barbecue and I brought over stuff for Moscow Mules. I'm like, yeah, I'm just feeling Moscow Mules today. And we started drinking them, and then all of a sudden, somebody had to run out to get more stuff because everybody's like, "These are great,"
Yeah, they're super easy drinking.
Oh yeah, you can make them as strong or as light as you want. It's nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, so next we have a little bit of little ski news time.
There it is.
Little ski news.
That's right. Yeah, so things are starting to wind down in the North American ski world. So we found some pretty interesting stories, though, kind of relating to skiing, of course. And the first one comes from our friends over at TGR. And what they did is they figured out, using all kinds of science and stuff, A man-made powder day at Jackson Hole would cost $59 million.
Drop in the bucket to some people.
Isn't that crazy? They said to coat Jackson Hole Mountain Resort with 12 inches of goodness, it would require 2,723 snow guns to pump out 108,900,000 cubic feet of snow. All in all, that powder day is worth about $59 million.
Damn.
Isn't that bananas?
I wonder if like eventually that'll happen. Like some sultan comes from like Dubai, is like make it all snow, and just goes like snow tubing down it or something.
Yeah. You know what? It's not outside the realm of possibilities, really.
Wow, 59 million.
59 million. Yeah, it says 108,900,000 cubic feet of snow is needed enough to build 3 Empire State Buildings.
Damn. I wonder how fast they could do that.
130,680 gallons of water per acre.
Damn.
And there's 2,500 acres at JHMR. So 326,700,000 total gallons of water would be needed.
So let me ask you, the polar ice caps are melting, right?
Yeah.
Do they theoretically just dump that same money into like putting snow on the polar ice caps like during the summer to keep it like frozen?
Well, I know last summer, Whistler, after their terrible season they had in 2015, they were trying to take care of the glacier up top and were blowing snow up there for the first time ever.
Nice.
So it wouldn't be unprecedented if they did try something like that.
Keep everything frozen, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we control everything else. Why not start controlling the weather?
In a good way.
In a good way.
To enhance ski season.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm.
Incredible. All right.
Cool stat, though. Yeah, we'll send you the link. Will be in the show notes, so you can check it out. And there's a really cool infographic showing all the the electricity, the manpower, the water required to make this happen. It's cool.
I love the infographics. That always gets me.
Yeah, they did a nice job with it.
The cool ones to get. All right. So next up, we got London Marathon and ski boots. So there's a 36-year-old guy, Al Mashel, from Hertfordshire.
Hertfordshire?
Hertfordshire.
Bloody hell.
Hertfordshire. He's done what no man has threatened to do before. He ran an entire marathon in a pair of ski boots.
God damn. That guy's crazy.
Damn. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So London Marathon is a serious deal. He ran in a 15-year-old pair of Salomon boots in his ski racing catsuit, which you break out a catsuit for any event. That's like Christmas morning right there. Took him 8 hours and 1 minute, which actually isn't a bad. I mean, for being in ski boots.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said he had some muscle aches. I could imagine, because that's a whole crazy type of running style with ski boots on. But they have pictures of him, and they have pictures of the ski boots, and they're legit ski boots. I mean, they're old. They're actually pretty front tilted boots too. They're like racing boots. So.
Yeah, he was saying that after about 9 miles, I had been passed by most of the runners, but there were a few people walking at the same pace.
Think of that. Like, you finish after that guy, you're like, shit, the guy with the ski boots beat me.
Yeah, right. That's when you need to know. That's when you know you need to step your game up. That's
crazy. Yeah, he said people really fall into 2 camps: people that either think he's a nutter or a hero. So he's either a king or a clown in your eyes. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. He got written up, and he got some notoriety for it. So.
Wow, he's got an interesting life, though, too. At 21, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor and underwent 3 years of radiotherapy and chemotherapy treatment.
Wow.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, the tumor removed in 2001.
Yeah, he's been skiing since he was 6 years old, and his mother was a ski instructor.
Yeah. He said, so, yeah, there's a lot about him in this thing. It's so he had cancer. Then he was skiing since 6 years old. He had a really bad crash trying to make the British World Cup team in Verbia. He actually caught an edge and 100 miles an hour. Did
you see that? Over 100 miles an hour he was going and crashed.
Crazy. And then the following year, he's diagnosed with kidney problems. So because of the drugs he took during chemotherapy. So he also had a kidney transplant then in 2012. So he's been through a lot of shit. He had cancer, kidney transplant, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And now he's running marathons in ski boots.
Wow, brain tumor, kidney problems, massive ski crash, and he still ran the London Marathon in ski boots. That is awesome.
So alive and kicking, has a big liter of beer at the end of it with his medal. So kudos to him.
Got a smile on his face, man. Cheers to you, Al. That's freaking awesome.
Right.
I love it. That's a great story.
We'll just raise our Moscow mules to you.
Raise a pint. Fantastic.
All right, what else we got, Bri?
All right, next up.
Good happy stuff.
Oh boy, another sad story. Another weird story, actually. Jay Peak in Vermont could be closed due to fraud allegations. 2 weeks ago, the SEC and the state of Vermont filed civil fraud charges against the owners of Jay Peak Ski Resort, accusing them of misusing more than $200 million from foreign investors intended for development projects.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so what they're saying is that Jay Peak is set up as a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, we had the Ponzi scheme headline a few weeks ago because that's when it broke. But now this is more details on they might be forced to close, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the court said that they have very little cash and numerous upcoming expenses. And if more money is not obtained, they'll be forced to shut down the operations of Jay Peak and keep Burke closed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Ugh.
Well, that's the whole idea behind
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm sure part of the problem too is the bad year they had this year, and it says that Jay Peak requires $7 to $11 million to stay open through the current off season.
Right.
But and the gondola needs major and immediate repairs that could run over $4 million.
Jeez. See, the whole thing behind a Ponzi scheme is you're not making money, but you're feeding it from the money coming in. So they kept putting up these projects and using the money from those projects, those future projects, to fund them now. So it's kind of like you're losing money, but you're like taking out more credit cards to like pay for everything, and eventually catches up to you. Now, when they got caught with the Ponzi scheme a few weeks ago, when that broke, they had said they're not going to let them do that anymore. So anything that was allocated for project in the future has to be allocated and used for that. So they stopped them from robbing Peter to pay Paul, in other words,
Yeah, and now they're just saying that they don't have any more money for anything.
That's crazy.
Ugh, that sucks.
Way to ruin a ski resort. That's how you do it. And that's also probably how you're going to end up in jail, because this is a pretty big charge too.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's blanketed under SEC, which is pretty messed up.
Yeah, when they're involved, very few good things can happen.
Yeah, I just think there's going to be a big change for a lot of resorts and hotels and anybody that's doing big projects. Like, I don't think like the SEC's really looked into them before. They've usually just been under scrutiny of like just accounting, and if people get with crazy accounting. But now what happens is everybody's running these big projects, and a lot of these big projects you're taking either bond money or some kind of public loan or government loan or some kind of money where there's like the stocks or government involved, and that's where really SEC comes in. So it's kind of like now there's a whole other area that probably hasn't even been audited or monitored, which I would imagine I wouldn't be surprised if they catch some other resorts doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things you almost don't want them to look because you're afraid of what's going to be exposed.
Right.
Because, so many of these ski resorts now are going, like you said, these big projects, especially these summertime, let's create these coasters and adventure parks. I don't think they're not massive expenses, but they're a lot of money that could be going to other things that might be more important to ski season.
Right. Well, I mean, you hear all the time too, like, there's a, $20 million improvement, and then they're going to do a $50 million improvement the following year. It's like, well, theoretically, the way this whole JP thing would have worked is, you take the 20 million, you use 15 to cover your operating loss, you start doing the project for 20 million, and then you borrow even more money. You borrow like the 30 million to cover your expenses plus that project that you just finished from the 50 million project that you just funded, and now that $50 million project is $30 million short right now. So then you either say, oh, we ran over on that project and ask for more money, or you fund another project that now feeds that, and that's the whole Ponzi thing. It just gets out of control.
Yeah, and for those who are unfamiliar with Jay Peak, Jay Peak is probably, I think it's the northernmost resort in Vermont. It has to be because it's almost on the Canadian border. And they have this crazy, gigantic water park inside, too, in the main hotel there. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really cool. But you wonder, to create this amazing, indoor water park must cost a fortune. And how many people are really traveling up to northern Vermont to go to a water park in the wintertime?
That's crazy.
Or the summertime? It's a weird question that, again, you probably don't want to answer and just assume everything is cool. They're making tons of money. Everything's on the up and up. But then you hear stories like this, and it makes you have to look at the details and what's really going on. And a lot of times, like this one, you're getting answers that you really don't want to see.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's like that, play The Producers, right? They funded a play just so it could get out of business and they could keep the extra money.
Yeah. And I think the worst thing about it is it's probably got the best tree skiing on the East Coast.
Yeah, they get pounded with snow. It's the whole thing there. They got great trees.
Some of the most snow in the East, and some of the best tree skiing. So, and we had plans to go up there this year, but as we've complained about for the past 4 months, Mother Nature didn't really work in our favor this year, so we did not get up there. So hopefully they will still be open next year, and we can get up there and hit those trees.
I blame Mother Nature's idiot child, El Nino.
Oh, El Nino. Yeah, so good for some people, so bad for others.
Yeah, just crazy child, crazy love child that Mother Nature had.
It's like an idiot savant.
That's right. All right. So what do we got next, Brian?
All right. So here's some happy news as it's, starting to be the end of ski season in North America. It is just beginning down in South America. And there were a couple of nice big snow reports that we want to give you guys the heads up on. Las Leñas, Argentina, had its second big snowfall of the year already. And they're supposed to be opening on June 18th. But right now, you look at the pictures of it, I mean, it looks, completely covered.
Yeah, I was looking.
A nice solid cover of white.
I was looking at it this afternoon. I think they got like 4 feet or something like that, right?
I think so, yeah.
Pounded. Because
they got.
I was looking at like ski trips going out there.
Yeah.
Anytime there's snow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking fantastic. So that's a good one. And then also down in Nevados de Chillán, Chile, they also are getting pounded with snow already.
Man.
And, they have the same general time frame, looking to open around June 18th. So they're a good 6 to 7 weeks away. They're getting buried.
Las Leñas, they're saying, got over 15 centimeters of snow.
That's like that's like 6 inches though, right?
That's like, like a foot.
15 centimeters?
15 centimeters. Yeah, it's not half a foot or something like that.
Yeah.
I was reading something. They got this is their second big one, right?
I think so, yeah.
And they got pounded last year, right? So this is falling.
They did, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so they're getting hit again. And so to give you guys the, kind of perspective on it, so they got hit with a big snowstorm, and they're looking to open in June. So it's almost the equivalent. The snow they're getting now would be as if North American resorts got buried in September. That's how early it is for them.
Damn.
How awesome is that?
I'm on there right now looking at rates to go ski.
Haha.
They have a 40% off sale right now.
Ooh.
7-night deals.
What if you were told that, you know what? There's 3 feet of snow coming, and it's September 28th. How amazing would that be? I would take off work immediately and just set up somewhere and wait there with my skis till it all fell.
Exactly. That'd be
Be
awesome.
the first in line. Yep.
Let's see.
So if you're planning a trip to South America, you want to get some fresh tracks, you better get down there soon because it's already on the ground and hopefully it'll stay.
Some freshy fresh.
Freshy fresh down south. Yep. All right, so that pretty much wraps up our ski news for this week.
And
On to our sort of topic.
so our shorter topic this week. What do we have, Brian? What are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to call this We Drink and We Know Things.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Got a
Oh,
little
boy.
crazy. Got a little crazy with ski news and shaking.
A little bit of a remix there.
A little remixing.
So, if any of you are Game of Thrones fans, we are recording this the day after episode 2 of season 6 aired. And there was a classic line that, they were asking of Tyrion something, and he's like, I drink and I know things, which, is a beautiful, kind of phrase, statement, almost an ethos, if you will. So I thought about it, and, that's kind of what this podcast is about. We drink and we know things, and that's what we want to share with you guys. So it could be the new Highfalutin Ski Bum motto. You may see it on T-shirts, stickers, who knows what, because I think that really applies to us.
And that's sometimes why we drink, because we know things and people that get us to places where we could drink in style.
Which leads us to our week this week, right?
Yeah.
We got big plans.
So let's start with this past week. What'd you do this past weekend, Brian? Anything fun?
No. I had to do stuff around the house, which was not fun.
Not fun.
No.
Me, on the other hand, I had a little golf outing. I actually golfed a lot better than I expected. Since I've been on retirement for about 6 years, broke out the clubs, and I wound up carrying my little. It was a scramble, captain's choice kind of fundraiser that we did, and I wound up carrying the team for about 5 holes.
Wow, look at you.
So yeah, I was actually hitting pretty well, and then I got tired and started drinking, and that was it. The wheels fell off the bus about hole 12. I was done. I was ready to go home.
Yeah, for me, that's the whole problem with golf is my ADD just does not allow me to enjoy 18 holes of the game. It just takes too long.
Like 12, 14, I know I used to play like every week, a few times a week when I was in North Carolina. So I got decent, and I know myself by now. Like 9 holes, fine, good. You get a good, have a good time out there, get some good exercise, have some good shots. But once I hit like the back 9, I start going into like 12, 14, maybe 16. Then it all blows up. Then I'm like, I'm ready to go. That's it. I could care less.
Yeah. So did you do any prep for this golf outing? Like, did you go to the driving range? Did you pitch and putt, anything?
I thought about going to the driving range last week, and I wound up on. I think I went. I was going to go to the driving range on Thursday, and I wound up going to happy hour instead. I was like, screw that. I had to go.
That's practice for golf too, technically, right?
That was. I actually went to the. I went to Dick's, and I got some golf balls and some golf shoes because I couldn't find my other golf shoes, which I then found them after I got home, and I was like, well, they're pieces of crap, so I kept the new golf shoes anyway.
Nice.
So that's the only prep I did.
All right. I like that. Going in cold. That's confidence.
It was the best. And then, you hit the driving range in the morning. You hit a small bucket of balls real quick, and then you loosened up and you go. Hey, I'm not winning $1 million like Tiger Woods,
I thought maybe you were going to say you prepared to go play golf by playing like PGA 17 for a couple hours.
That's right.
Or 16, whatever one's the current one right now.
Brian, I prepared mentally for this, okay? It was a lot of mental thinking about it and thinking about how I didn't do anything to prepare, but mentally I was there in the game. See, it's all about the mental part.
I hear you. I back when I used to play golf a considerable amount, I bought this audiobook of, one of those things that, it's one of those like sports psychologists wrote it about how to get yourself ready and get yourself in the prepared for playing and what to think about when you're going up to the tee and preparing for putts. And I took it with my father-in-law to be and uncle-in-law to be, and listened to it in the car for about a minute, and they were like, "Yeah, queer Led Zeppelin."
But yeah, we're not listening to this, Brian.
Like, we're gonna just drink and have fun, right? This isn't, we're not trying to get our club, get on the PGA Tour or anything here.
It's like you realize we don't get paid for this. Like, this is enjoyment. We get whatever.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun.
That's funny.
What's the most so what is the most hammered you ever been golfing?
I don't get because you still always have to walk and you got to move around. I'm like, I'll just have a few beers, and that's part of the problem too. Is I have a few beers and I just get tired. Like I don't have like a huge amount to get all hammered on the course. Like because I'd rather just leave the course. I'd rather if I'm gonna get that drunk, I'm just gonna leave. I'll go to the clubhouse and meet everybody there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just curious because when Andrew and I a couple weeks ago we did a bike ride and we went past Liberty National Golf Course in Jersey City. That's that beautiful country club, private, less than 300 people golf course,
nice.
Right on the Hudson River. I mean, you see Lower Manhattan on almost every hole.
Awesome.
And on the path we were on, we walked past. Well, we kind of rode past, a foursome playing through, and these dudes reeked of booze. Now, I don't know what this place, what a round costs there, how it works. I know just to get a membership, I think it starts at $250,000 for a membership fee.
Wow.
I mean, Phil Mickelson's a member, Eli Manning. I mean, these are, super, super, super wealthy people who belong to this course. So I don't know what these guys were drinking, if it was 50-year Macallan or the blood of, Jesus. I don't know what it was, but these guys were hammered.
I mean, we drank a bit. I mean, we started with Bloody Marys in the morning, which I didn't have a Bloody Mary. I had a beer at 11 before we teed off, and then there were shots.
No Mosa?
No man Mosa. There were shots during the course, but only a few. But it was okay. It was pretty tame.
Nice.
And it's funny, so I do. I enjoy myself. I have a pretty good time. I have a pretty well versed array of hanging out. But a lot of the guys I was hanging with, this was their weekend to get away from their family, and they're away, and they're it's just the idea of them being away from the family, being on your own. And I guess they get a rush out of it. And I'm like, dude, okay, you guys are going to bed at 11. All right, that's cool. I mean, I'm going to the casino. So I went to the casino, the Mount Airy casino. That was all right. I don't like that casino, but I'll say that on that too. I don't like it.
Yeah, that place is a little bit depressing.
Yeah, I didn't lose. I lost a little, but I was there for a little while. But I don't like the feel of it. The layout, the feel. Just not a big fan.
Yeah, when you have something like Sands, that place is much better.
Sands is better. I also like Atlantic City. I mean, just because there's more variety, it's a little bit different feel.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit seedier. That's more my style.
You feel a lot better about yourself going to Atlantic City too.
Exactly. It's like a casino in a really crappy Walmart or something.
Yeah, I think the most I've ever had while golfing, the most booze I've had, I went right before I got married. We went, and a friend of the family belonged to a country club. And, country club's a very different kind of situation. And I think maybe halfway through, we had those big plastic clear cups of vodka tonics.
Nice.
I think I had 2 of those. And again, it's the middle of the summer. You put 2 of those down. It wasn't a mess or anything, but you definitely didn't really care so much about losing a ball or if you 5-putted.
Yeah.
It actually made it feel a lot more enjoyable, to be honest.
Nice.
You don't realize how much you suck.
I usually never like drinking that much when I exercise. So even if I play softball, there's a friendly game I play in Central Park. I'm probably not going to play again this year, or maybe go for 1 or 2 games. You drink a little bit and you run around out there, but you're still exercising. I'd rather drink afterwards, or not exercise. That's my whole thing.
Après softball.
Après softball. See, it's the afterwards. That's
when
when
you've earned it.
Yeah, that's when things happen. That's when the magic happens. So I may go golfing again this year. We got to plan a trip out. I think Rem's been golfing a lot. I know you golf. We get a little outing out. We got to do something.
I'm a terrible golfer, but sure, I'm in.
Everybody's a terrible golfer.
That's true. So yeah, so besides golf, we this upcoming weekend. So we talked about it last week. NHL playoffs are going on right now. We're in the second round. Things are getting heated.
Yeah.
Matchups are getting really good. So we, because of Mario's kindness and generosity, we are going to the Islanders Tampa Bay game on Friday.
Yeah. Game 4.
Game 4.
So Islanders killed them the first game, and the second game they lost. They just didn't come out. I'm a big Islander fan, and I've never gone to a playoff game, Islander playoff game. I've gone to near end of season games. I've gone to big rivalry games like Islander Rangers, like when I was little. But I've never been to a playoff game. So I figured, you know what? I haven't been to the new stadium, haven't been to a Islander playoff game. So why not? And why not bring my buddy Brian?
You're checking off 3 boxes there.
Boom. That's what I'm saying. That's
you got playoffs, you got Barclays Center, and you got me.
Saturday morning, that's off the bucket list.
Boom, right there. Taken care of.
And then Saturday is a whole other show.
Ah, yes.
So Saturday is the America's Cup is coming. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the whole details of that. But that was another thing that was on my bucket list. And we got a connection with somebody from Gosling.
The good folks at Gosling's.
Like that. So, yeah. So we got lined up a pretty big weekend ahead. We're going to have a lot more pictures. We're probably going to have to I'm going to bring my big camera for the America's Cup.
Oh.
I'm not bringing it to the Islander game because it could get broken. There's going to be a lot of yelling.
Terrible.
Probably not going to be able to speak after. But
hey, you know what? If you love $12 beers, the Barclays Center is the place for you.
Oh yeah, and since I got the tickets, I know which motherfucker's buying.
That I would expect nothing less.
That's fine.
$12 beers for everyone.
But yeah, no, it should be good. It's a new stadium, so
We got the Shake Shack next door. Can hit that up beforehand.
Oh yeah, giggity giggity.
Yeah. And if any of you guys are there, if you're around and you hear the podcast before the game, it should be up by, I'm guessing, Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest. If you're around, we'll send out some tweets. You can meet up with us, get a drink, watch the game, have a good time.
Yeah. We'll even tell you where we are.
Oh.
We'll have to Instagram it that out the day of the game. So if you're at the game, we'll gram it out.
So if you go to Instagram.com/SkiBum Podcast, you could find out where we're going to be.
That's right. You could stalk us. Happily, you could stalk us. We could hang out. We could have beers together.
Yeah, you can even go to Facebook.com/SkiBum Podcast or Twitter.com/SkiBum Podcast to find out the same information.
Yeah, there's going to be some stupid shit that goes on that night. Andrea, if you're listening, I'm just warning you ahead of time. There's going to be some stupid shit that night. Nothing bad, just stupid.
Well, as crazy as things may go, I have to confess, last time I was at the Barclays Center, by last time, I mean the first time, there may have been a cannabis edible that was taken before going.
Oh, that's right. I heard that stuff.
And I learned how to use Uber that same night upon that same delicious edible cannabis treat. So yeah, it was definitely, it's always an experience when I go to the Barclays Center. I try to make it an event every time.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't been there yet, so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And again, if you love $12 beers, you will love this place. They have them in spades.
It's any like professional event. That's like the rub. Like I usually don't go to like professional event games unless I get free tickets because I'm like I just don't want to. I'd rather watch it at home usually. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Have my
it costs.
I have my $10 beers that I bought, and then
we paid $10 for a can of Heady Topper at a restaurant, and that's gonna seem like a bargain.
I'm saying
getting a Goose Island for $12.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's the rub.
PBR.
Got to pay John Tavares, man. If you want him to score goals in the playoffs, you got to pay that boy somehow.
For every $12 beer I drink, he better score a goddamn goal.
That's the deal, right?
That's the deal. And I'm making that now.
Nice. All right. So is there anything else we have on that topic or the main topic, or are we going to
No, I just other than that, I got this whole schedule for biking that I just put out to my team slash group of people that I bike with, and
Hey,
yeah,
groupies.
that's gonna start kicking up. I ran 3 miles yesterday. I've been trying to run 3 miles every day.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, starting yesterday.
Nice.
We'll see if I run today. Let's put it that way.
Nice.
I'm on this roll, since yesterday. I've been running 3 miles.
After that mule, I don't know how much running is going to happen.
I know. Might be more. Well, I still didn't watch all my shows. I watched Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Fantastic. But I didn't get to watch Silicon. I fell asleep in Silicon Valley, and I didn't watch Veep. So I'm kind of just,
both were good.
yeah, I'll catch up on those tonight.
After your run, of course.
After my run, of course. So, but how about you? You've been biking to work, right?
Biking to work now, 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I just started my new gym today, which is, awesome. So yeah, things have been good. We're gonna hit it pretty hard this summer, no matter what we're doing. So we'll have tons of, cool, fun, interesting things to talk about, topics that are, we're near and dear to our hearts, that are going to be, of course, ski related in some regard, because everything we do in the summertime is all in preparation for ski season. So yeah, a lot of fun, cool, interesting things happening this summer. So we'll keep you guys in the loop. And you can keep yourself in the loop by going to skibumpodcast.com and going to iTunes and subscribing and rating us, and going to facebook.com/skibumpodcast, twitter.com/skibumpodcast, and instagram.com/skibumpodcast. All right. I could break it up here when I edit it.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was really good. It's just weird not being in the same room.
I know, right?
It just feels a little like you wonder if there's like a dead space or something. There's definitely gonna have to get used to the rhythm on it.
Yeah, one thing that we kind of have to avoid doing is doing the yeah when someone says something, because that kind of breaks up the audio, like the stream.
Yeah.
Because you can see when each person talks, it shifts to them.
Right. So it's shifting. It's almost like that delay when you're on a phone too, right?
Yeah, it's very, very short and small, but it's something to at least be mindful of.
Yeah, it's just we got to make sure we don't have dead space.
Yeah, no, we're usually pretty good about that.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're gonna go right into Around the Horn, which is good. We'll zip around. You got the Bitcoin. I'll do the America's Cup.
There's actually another Bitcoin story today. I don't know if you heard. The one guy claimed he is Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yes, definitely talk about that. I love when people come out of the woodwork like, I'm Satoshi.
Well, this dude actually has he proved it to one of the main developers a few weeks ago.
Does he have $100 million in Bitcoin?
He actually has $450 million in Bitcoin.
Then I will believe he's the guy.
He has. Well, he actually. So the original Satoshi mined 1 million Bitcoins at first.
Yeah.
And this guy has actually moved some of them and has proved it by producing the transaction keys.
Nice. Well, yeah. he could be the guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's like, I love when they say like, yeah, this person's a Satoshi. It's like, why is he living in a fucking like a duplex? Like,
well, really? he's like a doctor, he's got his doctorate in cryptocurrency, and he's an Australian dude, and
a doctorate in pound and baj is what he's got.
Yeah, and this dude, so he spoke to the head Bitcoin engineer, Gavin Andreessen, and flew him out to London to prove to him that he was the guy.
Wow.
And Andreessen published a blog post today saying that this is the guy I spoke to in 2010 and 2011 through email, but you have a bunch of people saying that it's wrong. So it's so funny. Like, the Bitcoin community is just so fascinating.
It's crazy, right? It's just all over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It took a bit of a drop after that news came out. It dropped about $8.
Oh, after they said they found the creator?
Yeah, but they're not sure if, I mean, people were predicting it was going to drop anyway because of the trades they saw from yesterday and the day before that were waiting to get filled. But Yeah, it dropped about $8, which in the Bitcoin world really is absolutely nothing because the thing swings $20 in a day all the time.
Yeah, it's just wow.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. But yeah, that browser is pretty cool because the founder is the guy who founded, I think, Firefox,
Oh, is it?
and he created this browser that has an automatic ad blocker in it, and you can use the Bitcoin wallet built that's going to be built into the browser to support the like the websites that produce the stories you like.
Oh, wow.
Instead of having to deal with stupid ads on sites that you're not interested in, you can be like, oh, this is a cool story. I'll send, 1/100th of a Bitcoin, like, 1,000 Satoshis to this, this writer.
Right.
Which is pretty cool because, I mean, that's a completely different paradigm that, people have always wanted to do with PayPal, but PayPal never, the transaction fees were way too high. You couldn't make it possible. But with Bitcoin, you're able to do that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, it's pretty neat. All right,
Let's see somebody sign their NFL contract. That was the other thing. The draft went on. Let's see somebody sign an NFL contract and say, "I want to get paid in Bitcoin."
that would be amazing.
Just give no value. Be like, "I want this many Bitcoins in my contract a year, regardless of the value." And then
Yeah, right?
like they could either make $20,000 or like $200 million. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, gambler.
that'd be awesome. But like, I'm just laying on none of this fucking performance bonus or whatever. Like, fuck that.
Bitcoin. That would be I think Eli Apple is the guy, the Giants' #1 pick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who would the Jets take?
Jets took a defensive end.
Oh, okay.
Smaller than some of the other defensive ends, but he's fast dude. So I think they're just going for that model that Rec put in of they don't have big linebackers. They had one of the smallest defenses under Rec. So I think they're going back to that model, which would be good.
Oh, okay.
Probably do some pass rushing and stuff like that. And then second round they picked the Penn State quarterback.
Oh, really? Oh boy.
Which because Dick Face still hasn't signed.
Oh, that's right.
Still has not signed. And he said he's come out publicly and said he'll sit out a year. He said he's not signing for less.
Wow.
I'm like, you know what, dude? The offense they put in with him last year was designed for he doesn't have to be a great quarterback, and he just did the right. He made the right calls, made the right throws and whatever. But it wasn't relying on him to be a genius quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Geno Smith, they still got him on contract, so they're looking at it like, well, we'll get a year or two out of Geno Smith. Fuck Fitzpatrick. We got the offense that worked in a limited fashion because Fitzpatrick didn't even know the offense. He came in last minute, so they just threw something in, and I'm sure they'll take a gamble on somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why them drafting a quarterback in the second round. To me, if I was Fitzpatrick, I would say, well, you just lost $8 million a year or whatever they were going to sign you at, because they're not going to budge. And if he's going to take that stance, he better just swallow his pride and do it if he wants to get paid, or just he might be satisfied enough and say, I'm just going to retire.
You think you're so smart, Harvard boy.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these guys now are looking this year, especially a lot of guys are looking at just retiring early. They're like, well, fuck it. I made my money. See ya.
Yeah. I got enough brain damage. I don't need any more.
Yeah.
I'm out.
It's crazy.
Conor McGregor.
Beating your body, it's nuts.
Yeah.
So
look at Conor McGregor, right?
Yeah, he's another example of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? I mean, you made your money. You made enough money that you don't have to really work hard the rest of your life, or even work if you manage it right. Why would you to take that risk? No.
I hear you.
What happens? What happens? They should have never give you niggas money. Dude, this Camp Bacon, man, they have to have this on The Biggest Loser.
How cool is that?
They got to send him to Camp Bacon to like lose weight. That'd be fucking great. Everything bacon.
All right, so I guess we have everything we need for Around the Horn, right?
Yeah, the astronaut marathon in space.
Yeah.
With that, I was going to add on. I'll mention there's a. I saw a movie on Netflix called Inspired to Ride,
Hmm.
and it's about a transatlantic ride that these people did. I think it was. I don't remember how many people. It was like 20 people, 30 people, and it was a self-maintained, self-supported ride. So basically, they were responsible for their own food, their own shelter, everything. They raced basically from California all the way to I think it was Pennsylvania, or basically coast to coast.
Hmm.
And it's a route that the transcontinental route. And these guys were riding for guys and girls were riding for like 14, 15 hours a day, logging in like 150 miles. Like it was insane.
Jeez.
So it's pretty crazy. And that kind of gets into the whole, like, I was going to mention it because, you talk about this, the marathon runner, and they're talking about like the mass and all this other stuff. And everybody's getting so much into these like ultra marathons and being ultra fit. And it's crazy. It's absolutely
Yeah.
crazy. It's like this whole kick.
Yeah. Jody, I saw, just ran an ultra marathon in Hartford.
Did
It's
she?
like 30 some miles. Yeah.
Wow. Jody.
Jody.
Fuck me like a whore, Jody.
Is there any other Jody?
Fuck me like a dirty bitch whore.
I'm your dirty little slut. Yep.
You dirty little slut, Jody. See, it took me a little while. Like, oh, me dirty little slut. Yeah, okay, I know that girl.
That Jody. Yep.
Yeah, date rape Jody.
Uh, yeah, allegedly.
But yeah, so many people are getting into it because I think just the level of fitness. Like, if you're not fit, if you're not into shape, or you're not working out, you're really not into working out. And if you're working out, it's like people are just taking it to this whole other level now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yep. All right. All right. Sip of water.
Whew. All right, we're getting into the weekly flavor. Not weekly flavor. That's weekly flavor. I feel a little bad because we were missing something today, and what we were missing,
Was Scheiß drauf?
we were missing a little Peter.
Ole, ole und schalala. Aber Scheiß drauf.
It's business casual the whole fucking time is great.
Mallorca is hot.
heiliger Bierkönig, heilige Schinkenstraße. Ab heute gibt es nämlich Scheiß drauf als Download bei Amazon, bei iTunes, bei Musicload. Holt euch jetzt endlich den nagelneuen Titel von mir. Hier läuft das Ding wirklich alle 5 Minuten am Strand im Bierkönig im Oberbayern, überall. Deswegen ab jetzt überall im Handel. Holt euch jetzt den Download. Ihr seid mit dabei. Euer Peter Wackel! Und schalala! Aber scheiß drauf! Man ist nur einmal im Jahr. Ole, ole! Und schalala! Aber scheiß drauf!
All right, I just posted that to Facebook.
Nice.
The video.
Nice.
Love Peter Buckle. Peter Buckle. Oh yeah. All right.
Was that the official start?
Shit off.
All right, let's do this.
Got your Bitcoin thing to start off. All right.
Yeah, this was a pretty cool story that I saw last week. So there's a new browser called Brave, and it's Brave Software, and they launched this actually back in 2015. But with this browser, what they've built into it is a Bitcoin wallet, which is pretty cool. And what it also has is built-in ad blocker. So what they're doing is they're blocking all this content and putting curated ads in there. And you can support the articles that you like by making these micro Bitcoin payments. So one of the cool things about Bitcoin is, unlike PayPal, there isn't that huge transaction fee that you have to pay, which can be up to 30%. It's like a 0.0001% transaction fee you pay using Bitcoin. So the whole point of this is to, only have this curated content that's appropriate for you and just blocking all of the junk stuff that you would usually see.
So you're saying that this browser blocks the ads that are served up by the web page and replaces it with their own ads?
Yes.
That's freaking devious and genius.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the guys that are trying to screw you by throwing the ads in front of you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the creator of this is Brandon Ike, who got in some controversy last year. He was the creator of the Mozilla Corporation, and was also the creator of the JavaScript programming language. And he made some comment, I think about gays or something. I forget exactly what the issue was, but he was forced to step down from Mozilla, but started this other company. And again, it's not a political thing, not neither here nor there. It's just a very interesting technology that he's looking to, kind of put out there. And of course, the old school publishing folks are not having this at all right now. And he claims that's because they don't understand that they can really benefit from this, and that he would help them, he would actually set up Bitcoin wallets for them and help them to, increase their revenue by using this, this Brave browser the correct way. So it's pretty interesting to read about, to see. It's cool seeing people coming at things from completely different points of view instead of just trying to do the same old thing over and over again.
That's a pretty cool concept, but I can imagine because, publishers will pay for their ads to be served on certain sites. So if they're actually paying for that, and then they're getting superseded by these other ads, they're going to be pissed.
But how can you blame the browser for what it's displaying?
Well,
it's one of those things, like, how can you, who is to blame for it? Like, who can you actually point? I mean, I understand the browser's creating this and they're going to want to point the finger at that, but it's the consumer's choice how they want to view this.
Right. No, it's just, the content, those companies are going to be just, it's because they cut deals with other companies and they're like, well, now we got to cut a deal with the Brave browser people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's genius, and more to it, man. It's great. Yeah,
it's very cool. And I've actually used the Brave browser. It's It's again, it's still new, so it still needs some polish, but it's pretty cool, and it's cool having someone with a different point of view and different way of handling this than Chrome, Safari, IE, which are all large companies that do other things and have a browser. This is a company that their whole business is the browser and a whole different way of the value of the content within it, which is really cool.
Oh, they have it in the App Store. Look at that. I may download it for my laptop.
There you go.
As long as it's secure, I'm good.
Well, that's what Tor is for.
Ah, there we go.
Ah,
that's why you need Bitcoin.
That's right.
That's why I need a burner phone. I've actually been looking into that, actually.
Not a bad idea.
I have an old iPhone, and I just got a SIM card for it, and it doesn't work because it's too old of an iPhone. So I got.
Oh, really?
I want to use it international if I travel, but.
Oh, nice. Going down South America skiing this summer, right?
That's right, and it'll be a burner phone. It's my Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
My Breaking Bad phone, man. It's my Heisenberg.
Nice. All right, next story.
All right, so we mentioned this week we have a lot going on. This is the 35th America's Cup is going to set sail in New York City for the first time in 96 years, almost a century. So the America's Cup is one of those things that's always fascinated me as I was a kid. I remember when they started showing it on, I think it was on ESPN or the Ocho, whatever the channel was back then.
Wasn't it Wide World of Sports?
They used to show it because it was a big controversy. All of a sudden, for the first time in so many years, the U.S. lost it, and then they were trying to get it back. So they really pumped it up at one point in the 80s. And I remember that's when I watched it. And I was fascinated. I was like, these guys are cruising on these really great boats. And I really just had an admiration for sailing back then. And, of course, I don't know anybody that has a boat. I've sailed, since then, just, with people that had boats. And it's always fascinating. It's a fun sport, but the event itself fascinates me. So they're going to race between, I'm trying to think. They're going to race on the Hudson, they're going to between Battery Park and I think it's Brookfield Place, which is the old the Trade Center area. So It's going to be a fantastic location. They're setting up a free viewing area, and they're calling it the event city. They're going to set up right there at Brookfield Place, right at the marina there, which is where the Trade Center used to be, and they got all the new buildings up, and it's really nice area, beautiful area that they built down there. So I think it's going to be a great event. And I tell you what, I saw a little bit of racing last year because they had another event, and it was another it was another America's Cup racing event, and they had them. They were televising it, and they were showing it. I think it was in San Francisco last year. And I tell you, you look at those boats, and they're freaking amazing. They're technological, advanced dream boats. They're great. So it's funny. I was talking to Brian and I were talking about this, and Brian, I was talking to you, it's very convoluted. Well, what is it? How do they race? What is it all about? So this series that's running, they're calling it the America's Cup World Cup Series. And what that is this is what used to be called the Challenger Series. So out of the teams sponsored by the yacht clubs sponsored within the countries that they're from, so all over the world can race. They race to see who's going to face the defending champion. Right now, the defending champion also races in this series because it gives them, a little bit of tactical insight to how the other boats race, and the other boats get, tactical advantage to see how the defending team races. So, it's just good for everybody to race against each other. But it's a real legit race that if for the people that are trying to win the challenger's position, they need to get points and win so that they can be the person that races against the defending champ. So U.S. Team Oracle is the U.S. defending champ, and they're going to race next year in Bermuda for the Cup. So there's a series. This series is going to go on for, I think there's another 2 or 3 events. They're going to race somewhere in the world. And these boats are just amazing. So if you ever go online, I have the link for the Louis Vuitton bought the rights to it, so everything's branded Louis Vuitton. But if you go to the site, you'll see some of the boats, and they're just like technological, like just dreams, like these things. So just a little bit about the cup. So it started. This is the oldest international trophy that's been awarded and kept going since 1851. It's been in existence. And it got named America's Cup after the schooner that won the first race, the America, which then they took the cup and they gave it to the New York Yacht Club with rules that started the perpetuation of the whole competition. And over the years, the rules have been expanded, have been clarified. There's like rules on top of rules. So the winning team gets to decide what type of boats go into the next, or at least used to go to the next race. And they only race every 3 to 4 years. So this is like a big event. It's like the World Cup, like you have soccer. It's like the World Cup of yacht racing.
It's weird how they just change the rules every time, though. I mean, it's not even like a defined time when they have it, and that the winner gets to make the rules for the next time.
It's a weird thing. I think it's based on an agreement. Like they know they're going to have it 3 to 4 years, but some years it's 3, some years it's 4. It's just it wavers a little bit. I guess I don't know if all the teams have to agree on the rules before they go. Like there's certain rules that are set, like the deed of gift and the whole rules are underlying. But then there's other things that come into play that they agree on. Okay, we'll postpone it, or we won't have it here. We'll have it like. So there's a lot of like back and forth between these yacht clubs about what the actual cup's gonna entail.
Sounds like having poker night at your house. Dealer's choice, and you can make up the rules and Texas Hold'em. Yeah. It's
crazy, and it's not straightforward. So for people to follow it, they're like, I don't know what they're doing. They're beautiful boats and they're racing around. I don't know how it runs, but So it's kind of like now they race around, they get points. And then they get seeded, and then the top seed goes and races against the defender. So it's pretty easy concept from that point of view, but all the other rules around it are just a little crazy. But New York Yacht Club actually held the cup from 1870 to 1983, and that is it's crazy, right? So they
had the record. So they pretty much held the title for 113 years.
113 years. And then they lost it, and that's why in the 80s, it was Dennis Conner was like the captain, and everybody remembers that, back when they were really promoting the America's Cup because he was going to win it back because they lost it and he was trying to win it back, so he won it back. But if you look at like Wikipedia, I have the link to the Wikipedia site, and if you look at the top winning teams, they won 25 titles since the Cup has been around. I think the closest other yacht club is like maybe, I think 3 or 5 wins. And then the other ones are like 1 win here, another win there. So, I mean, the dominating factor has always been New York Yacht Club. So it's a really huge thing for it to come back to New York and them actually have a race, maybe not the race, but a race like in New York, which is pretty cool.
I want to see a Jay-Z Big Pimpin' yacht try to win the race.
That's right.
Why don't they have that kind of yacht race? They have kind of like hoochies hanging off the top. They have like at least 50 hoochies on the yacht while you're racing.
Oh, well, they're going to have other yachts like that watching, because you'll get a whole bunch of like boats and yachts that'll sit around and they cordon them off to say where they can be and where they can't be. And people will sit there on these yachts and they'll watch from the water. They'll watch all the racing. So there's a whole boat registration going on. There's you can buy seats on some of these boats, big boats that are going to be near there. It's a whole huge thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. And one of the reasons we're drinking Goslings today is because our buddy Dan from Goslings got in touch with him, told him about us, and told him we want to go down there. He's actually hosting something at Henry's on the Hudson, which is on the New Jersey side. It's going to be a perfect spot in Jersey City to look at this. And we're going to be there, and he's going to have a whole Goslings event for a bunch of his, bunch of his buddies. And we're going to be excited.
Including us.
I think that's going to be fun. It's gonna be a
That's
lot.
going to be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I wanted to see America's Cup. That's another thing. Like I said, that was on my bucket list to actually watch an event. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. And Saturday should be a good day. They're saying Saturday over Sunday will be the nice day.
Nice.
And the best part about being at the event is, so the racing goes from, I think it's 12:30 to 4:30, and then the Kentucky Derby is like 5:30.
That's right. Yeah. So it's a very for the alternate sports, not the top four, the other sports, other big sports in the world. It's going to be a big day on Saturday.
Yeah, and especially after we had a Triple Crown winner for the last year.
Barrow last year. Yeah.
The first time in what 80 years that we had a Triple Crown winner. I mean, that's
40 years.
40 years, whatever.
Secretariat in the 70s.
No, affirmed.
What do you mean affirmed? Didn't Secretariat win?
Secretariat win, but the last one I think was 84, 80.
Oh, so it's been like only 30 years then.
Yeah, it's still a long time.
Not that long. When's the last time they had a Triple Crown winner in baseball? Wasn't it like Ted Williams in the 50s?
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know?
Oh,
affirmed was 78.
78 affirmed, yeah.
Oh, the 70s was the golden age for Triple Crown winners. You had 73 Secretariat, 77 Seattle Slew, and 78 affirmed.
You know what it is too? Like, well, Secretariat was just a beast. They say like out of all the other winners, like it doesn't matter who he ran against. Like that horse was just incredible. Well,
isn't he like? Isn't his seed kind of in a bunch of these really like leading horses too?
I think he's in all the other ones that won the Triple Crown.
He's like the Genghis Khan of Triple Crown winners.
He is. Oh, well, that's the whole part of breeding. You know, they're like, they want to, keep that in the bloodline. So there's two schools of thought on the whole Triple Crown thing. One, they say, well, you have to be lucky with the group that you race against and having the strong horse racing against that group versus just being an incredibly strong horse. Secretariat just blew everybody away. Like if you look at how he won races, it was just
not even close, right?
It wasn't even close. It was like you feel bad for even racing, Some of these other ones they just barely win. American Pharaoh won pretty solid though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's happening on Saturday night. So Saturday's going to be a wild day. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be cool, yeah. And so Friday we got the hockey game. Saturday we got the America's Cup and Kentucky Derby. So a lot of stuff going on. So just stay following us. You'll find some cool pictures, posts, information.
Yeah. Bring the ladies down there. Bring Andrea, right?
Of course. She's got her nautical gear ready to go.
Let me bring a lady down.
Right in. Uh-oh. Only one?
I have one lined up. Yeah, only one.
Only one. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Got to pace yourself, just like a good horse, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so the other thing I was telling Brian about this America's Cup is like they set the rules and then everybody texts the shit out of this. And if you look into like there's like all these conspiracies about like people overteching and then people, lodge a protest and then the protest gets, turned down and then they have this crazy fast boat. So it's just like the technology gets pushed so much. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's why Oracle has the backing of Silicon Valley helping them with the tech on their boat. And they're the ones that came up with this whole fixed wing. So it's not even a sail. It's like this big, gigantic airplane wing that they use as a sail. It's incredible.
Jeez, nice.
And they're catamarans now. They're not even like classical schooners or yachts. They're these big catamarans that fly.
That's so cool. Yeah, I think Top Gear did an episode where they had James May on one of the America's Cup boats a couple of years ago, and it was not a leisurely cruise for him. That's for sure. It was a lot of work and a lot of speed too. You really wouldn't think these sailboats would get up to these crazy high speeds, but they do.
Well, here's just some stats. So you have the catamarans are about 72 feet long, right, which is a giant boat, right? Mm-hmm. The wing on top is about 135 foot. Right.
Wow.
And these things, so something that big is moving at speeds of over 50 miles an hour on the water, which is insane. I mean, that's flying. And like you said, like these things will go up on one of the catamaran, so if anybody doesn't know, catamarans, like these two pontoons with a deck on top. And what they'll do is when they're turning, they'll actually fly up on the one pontoon, and everybody has to jump over to the other side to throw their weight against it. So hopefully it doesn't tip over. I mean, it's pretty intense. I mean, and like you said, you don't rest at all. There's people running around like it's bedlam. But it's controlled bedlam. Like this is what these guys practice for. It's crazy.
Yeah, they have crazy workouts and stuff they have to do to be prepared for this. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right. That was a lot of information on the America's Cup, Mario. Thanks for that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things only few times a year, but if you ever get a chance to watch it on TV or live, definitely watch a little bit of it just to see what it is.
Yeah. All right. And another thing about working out and staying in shape, next story, astronaut runs marathon in space, but slower than on Earth.
Oh.
So we talked about the London Marathon and Al, who ran in his ski boots this past year. Another Brit had an interesting marathon story as well. British astronaut Tim Peake became the first man to complete a marathon in space on Sunday, running the 26.2-mile distance while strapped to a treadmill aboard the International Space Station.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, as part of the London Marathon, Britain's biggest mass participation race, the 44-year-old spaceman saw London's roads under his feet in real time on an iPad. As 250 miles below him, more than 37,000 runners simultaneously pounded the streets. So he covered the distance in 3 hours, 35 minutes, and 21 seconds, which was a world away from the record by real race winner Kenyan's Eliud Kipchoge, who did it in 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 5 seconds.
So does he hold a world record now or a space record? He holds like a universal record for marathon.
Intergalactic record.
Intergalactic. Space.
Right? And it says, though, he did run the marathon back in 99 and did it in 3:18:50.
Damn.
So it was about 17 minutes faster on Earth than he was in space.
Oh, wow. That's still really, holy crap.
And also 16 years later. So, when you're running the race at 28 versus running it at 44, it's a pretty big difference.
Intergalactic champion, son.
Intergalactic, yes, medalist. So I mean, it's got to be something taken into account being that much higher up, right? Lack of oxygen?
I would definitely be pouring champagne on my phone over after that.
That is for show.
Yep.
All right. So you want to finish up with this last story now?
I'll let you take this one. I just got comments on it.
Camp Bacon. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but every summer out in Michigan, there is a Zingerman's Camp Bacon. So this is June 1st through June 5th. Every spring, bacon lovers, bacon makers, cooking school teachers, culinary historians, writers, statisticians, sociologists, chefs, roller derby professionals, and other pork-driven people from all over the globe flock to Ann Arbor, Michigan to talk, taste, and toast the terrific flavors and cultural iconography of all things bacon-related.
Nice.
Drooling thinking about this.
Their website says a 5-day celebration of great pork.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a whole festival that goes on. It's 5 days, and they are in Ann Arbor, so they have they're affiliated with the University of Michigan there. They have a film festival, and I mean I'm looking at the stuff they're talking about. Like they have Newski's Applewood Smoked Bacon. So I don't know if you know about Newski's, but Newski's is this farm out in Wisconsin that specializes in all things pork. I've had Newski's ham at Thanksgiving the last couple of years, and it's pretty much the Kobe beef of ham. It's unbelievable. And they do this Applewood smoked bacon that's just thick and meaty and so good. So that's on the first day. They're already having that. They have the annual Bacon Ball, a snout to tail history of the humble pig. They have a bacon with bacon at the bake. I mean, just 5 days of bacon and pork-related festivities.
They have the Pot Liquor Film Festival, and on the menu for that festival, they have fresh pot popcorn with Newski's Applewood smoked bacon.
Right? That's what I'm saying. The Newski's
popcorn.
bacon.
Oh, bacon popcorn.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, the next day they have maple glazed bacon apple donuts.
Damn, that looks great.
Oh my God, I'm getting so hungry reading about this stuff.
All right, I'll make a note to self, see what it takes to get a flight out there and time off. It's got to be on the weekend. Oh, Wednesday. Ooh, midweek.
Worth it.
June 1st, all right.
They've got speakers, they've got events. They have Mike Zaromsky, who is the smoke master for Newski's Applewood Smoked Meats. Started working for the smoked meat purveyor in 1983. Oh, he was 21 years old.
Sold out already. Fresh Taste of Detroit is sold out already.
Oh my God. Well, it's only 1 month away.
Damn.
You know?
Camp Bacon Street Fair.
Yeah, there's a lot of good, fun, delicious smoked bacony events. So if you're in the area, you better get your tickets soon because things are starting to sell out already. ZingermansCampBacon.com. ZingermansCampBacon.com.
Or just go to the website. We'll have it up there.
ZingermansCampBacon.com. Oh, well, I don't know about you, Mario, but I want to shove pork in my mouth right now after reading this.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, like, if they could pair this up with The Biggest Loser and, like, send The Biggest Loser people to Camp Bacon. That would be the temptation.
Yeah, test if they can, withstand the temptation and the draw of deliciousness.
I'm drooling right now. I don't think anybody could survive that.
Oh my God, I want it so bad.
Damn good. I actually have a friend that has a relative that's actually Muslim that eats bacon because it's so delicious, which is totally against the rules of his religion.
I totally get it. It makes sense to me.
I'm like, I totally understand it. How can you blame them? How do you take bacon out of your diet? I don't get it.
It's just not a life worth living, if you ask me.
I understand the whole religious impact for it, but I'm like, I get where the guy's coming from. It's too delicious.
It is. You know, what are we in this world without these little treats that we get every once in a while? The simple, delicious things.
Especially bacony little treats. Bacon donuts. God damn, I'm thinking of donuts now.
Maple bacon. I can't even talk anymore. It sounds so good. Maple bacon donuts.
It's because you're drooling thinking about the bacon right now.
Yes, I certainly am.
If I had like
all right,
bacony. Oh, now I'm thinking about donuts. We got to get cake balls soon. Anthony Leanna's got to be. There's got to be a drop of cake balls coming any day now.
Didn't we buy them like 6 years ago?
We did, yeah. And it was like once a quarter. So I think this quarter, I got to see when we last got them. I don't remember.
I think it was before the Super Bowl because I remember eating them at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we got the first batch in, was it February?
It had to be late January.
January, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking May. This would be the next
second quarter.
Second quarter. Boom.
Yeah. What are your second quarter cake ball results?
That's right. It's like the draft. We pick cake balls. I wonder if there's bacon in these. I don't know.
I think did we get like a bacon bourbon one?
I don't know. I'm just drooling right now.
Ugh.
I'm looking it up right now. I'll have to text you later with when we're getting cake balls. All
right, cool. All right, we're going to wrap up this podcast for this week then. So thank you guys so much for listening. Hit us up. Get all of our info, skibumpodcast.com, facebook.com/skibumpodcast, twitter.com/skibumpodcast, instagram.com/skibumpodcast. And be sure to follow us, rate us on iTunes, subscribe, and be sure to check us out this weekend because we are going to post some fun, cool, awesome stuff from our events that we are going to.
Cool.
All right. And with that, we will see you guys next week.
Stay high, stay fluting.
See ya.